Adam, working at Core to Cloud, and welcome to an edition of The Core. And we are here with tech journalist Jamie Bartlett.
Hello.
That's your cue.
That's me. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So this is at SCOM 22, which is Core to Cloud's biggest event yet, hosted at our very own castle. We are being filmed as well. Just just so you're aware.
Yeah.
So how about to start off, you just tell us who you are, what you do, and why are you speaking today?
Well, I'm a technology writer. I've been doing that for about 10 years now. But more recently, I am the presenter and the host, writer, journalist behind The Missing Crypto Queen, which is a BBC investigative podcast into probably the biggest ever crypto Ponzi scheme, I suppose. And I was just telling people about the tricks that these guys use, how they fool people, and what lessons there are from that story for the wider IT security sector.
Yeah. So I think one of the most interesting things that you said to me in your talk, you said about, despite this being one of the biggest cyber and IT scams of all time, it wasn't a technology scam. It was a psychology scam.
Yeah, exactly. In the end, what this woman really managed to do, when you think about it, was to get about 1 million people to invest 4 billion euros in essentially a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. It was a trick of psychology. It was playing on people's cognitive weaknesses, sense of urgency, the fear of missing out. Look at me, I'm credible, you can trust me. Really basic psychology tricks. And that is something I think that occasionally the IT sector focuses a lot on the tech, rightly, but maybe could focus more as well on the psychological tricks that these scammers will pull, because it's often the same kind of stuff. Click on this link quick for the HMRC tax rebate that's coming your way, and smart people fall for that.
Well, yeah, that's something interesting you were also saying. So before I ask you another question, do you want to give like I mean, it's hard. This is the life's work here, but a 30-second summary of the news story of what the Missing Crypto Queen is.
Yeah. So a woman in 2014 called Dr. Ruja Ignatova turns up and says, "I've created the next Bitcoin. It's going to go up in value. It's for ordinary people. And we're going to sell it through multi-level marketing. You sell to friends, they sell to friends, everyone makes a commission." And it spread so fast that by 2017, about 1 million people had invested 4 billion euros from 175, pretty much every country on earth.
Wow.
And then she disappears in October 2017, goes on the run with the money, and the whole thing was just really an old-fashioned Ponzi scheme. And there was no real technology behind it, but she'd managed to fool that many people
and
for
that's
that
the incredible
long.
bit. So who are the kind of people that she was fooling? Because surely this just can't be your everyday people. There was more people at stake here.
It was ordinary people. I'd say the target of this investment scam were people who'd heard about Bitcoin but weren't specialists.
Yeah.
Had heard it was the future but didn't really know how it worked. They weren't IT experts, really, because IT experts sort of normally understand cryptocurrency and would have been very skeptical about what she said. This was for ordinary people, but that is most people. That is 95% of the population. So she had a big pool to aim at, but smart people, not IT people,
that's it.
but doctors.
Yeah, doctors, surgeons,
journalists, people with PhDs in finance, NHS workers. I mean, smart people.
Yeah.
But people who were overwhelmed with this cognitive, this sort of psychological weakness, this desire to get rich quickly, to believe it because they wanted to believe it. Because
I've Googled it before. Get rich quick. I've Googled it.
Yeah, we've all done it, and we've all seen our friend who's got rich from Bitcoin, and we're jealous and we want the same, and that's really what she was exploiting. And I think there are lessons there for IT specialists about those sorts of tricks that they use. And she is now on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. So she's one of the most wanted women in the world, and she's the only crypto scammer on the list. She's probably the only cyber scammer on the list. So we're talking about one of the biggest internet scammers of all time. So there's definitely lessons for everyone there.
Big time. Because you are a journalist by trade, obviously tech journalist, so you're very savvy of it all. But
wow,
so I like that. I like that.
Not like the guys in this room.
Well, there is some knowledge here, right?
Yeah, some serious detailed knowledge. I was sitting in some of the sessions, and I didn't understand. It's above my level of knowledge.
Yeah, I've learned a lot. So we were doing some think tanks upstairs. I was learning loads from those people. These are brands that I work with, and I'm really learning the details of them, which is awesome. But in your realm and in your world, what is cybersecurity? What does that mean to you? What does it do, and what is it? Big question.
Wow. I've never been asked that before.
Is there a
it's
award for that? Or
it's a brilliant question. Sometimes the basic questions are the best
What
ones.
is it?
I guess it's in my mind, it's all of us rely on digital devices for everything, from our personal lives, our professional lives, our love life, our commerce, and frankly, that whole system was never really built with security in mind. It was built to be an open system, and it's become increasingly obvious that criminals are able to make use of that, to exploit it. And cybersecurity is our effort to basically bring everyone back up to speed. Somehow that we are offline security and all the checks and things we do and how we lock our doors and how we have this and that, we're kind of trying to make the online world something more similar to the offline world. And at the moment, it's so out of sync.
Yeah.
So it's basically just about being safe and secure in your online life, which is your everyday life now.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's a lot of technicalities involved in that, a lot of difficulties, because it's just far more complicated than locking your front door.
I mean, as you can see at SCOM alone, there's 15 different cybersecurity vendors here, and there's many more available. There is no one direct solution, is there? There's a multitude of different things that need to be fixed and monitored and solved.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it changes all the time, of course.
Constantly
evolving.
So your 2014 book, The Dark Net.
Yeah.
I mean, how much has that changed since you wrote that book?
Well, what's interesting is, the technology has completely changed, and now I'm thinking about automated crime. I'm thinking about AI-powered crime, synthetic voice technology to commit invoice fraud, stuff we never couldn't even have imagined, even in 2014. But the psychology, the creativity of criminals, their inventiveness, their professionalism, their abilities, the difficulty for the authorities in prosecuting them because they live God knows where and can keep themselves hidden, that's the same. That's like the constant. So I'm always amazed at just how good these guys are at their work. And the specific approaches might change, but we know how brilliant cyber criminals are. And what we got to do to try to stay one step ahead, or at least no more than one step behind.
That's a great quote. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a great description of what cybersecurity is. So thanks very much for joining us. I liked it. I liked it. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's coming from a tech journalist point of view. So if you ask an IT engineer, their point of view, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But that's hopefully what we can get into today.
Yeah. Wicked. All
Lovely.
right.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jamie. That's been that's wonderful.
Thank you very much for having me. I was already off. I was out.